Like, okay. Hello, 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 and welcome to our section. It is live on Facebook, and my name is Clement Matorwmasen, and I will be here with you for the next few minutes to discuss the challenges that we have in Moringa, especially in Moringa marketing in Africa. So I am going to be your host for this program. And like I said, my name is Clement Matorwmasen. So for those of you who do not know me, I have been involved in Moringa production way back to 2006. And I have mainly been running it as a charity project. But later on in 2016, I converted my charity company into a social enterprise because I felt we could have more impact in that way. So here we are in our first video from me to you to discuss the challenges that we have with Moringa production. So yeah, I am very excited to be with you, and I'm looking forward to your comments. Let your questions come, let your comments flow, and I'll try as much as possible to answer you. Okay, so yeah, to basically get you going, we already for most of people, the people here, you know about Moringa already. um, Moringa is known to be this superfood miracle tree that is the all-in-one solution to our health and economic problems. But for some reason, Africa, we don't seem to be able to make the most of it, or there's a bit of a problem in the marketing and also um, in generally in the production and the processing of this plant. So in the next few yeah in the next few hour, I will use it to share my experience with you on how far I have gone with it and the challenges that I have encountered, and I'm hoping that it will also enlighten you a little bit into what Moringa is about. So here we are. Um, of course, like I said, most of you already aware of Moringa, so I wouldn't want to go too deep. But like I said, it is this super plant that has enormous benefits, and so sorry, I think I'm trying to switch between the screens so that I can give you the viewer the best um the best listing view. But of course there will be some technical hitches here and there. So pardon me if you're having some technical glitches. I will try to resolve them as we go along. So we're looking at first, before we look at even the challenges that we have in Moringa, let's look at it a little bit of what are the potentials, because if there is not no potential, how do we even look at there to be a challenge? There must be a reason why it is a challenge. And so first, we are looking at what are the uses of Moringa in the first place. So to summarize everything, we have the cosmetic aspects of it. We also have biogas, we have animal foliage, we have agroforestry, we have culinary, we have traditional medicine, water purification. There's a whole lot more about the uses of Moringa. And I think it's so huge that one cannot summarize and say, okay, this is only this part that is useful, because it's so big. The industry of Moringa is so big and I think already we are in the 9 million mark, 9 billion mark for the global market with Moringa. So, with having that said, we have to understand that it has also a lot of financial potential. If it is properly linked with manufacturing and trade and all these things. So let's look at the challenges. I'll try to make it a bit quick so that you can bring your questions and then we can look at them. One of the challenges that I have come across is just the problem of the value chain. There is improper value chain in terms of moringa. The farmer uh, ends up being the researcher, he ends up being the salesperson, the production. Uh, so basically, there is no clear production chain. There's no proper value chain where it makes it easier for this plant to be accessed in our local markets. And that is one of the biggest problems when it comes to moringa production. The other aspect is not having a clear cut benefits. A lot of people will, when you go online right now and research what are the benefits of moringa, I'm sure you will see 10 different things. Some say it's 9 times the protein in this, some say it was the 7th time, some say it's 4 times. you know, we do not have our own researched, details and well documented African point of view of what the plant is. And with my experience with moringa, it can change. The plant is very versatile. It's a weird plant. Let me put it that way. It can change very much depending on where you get it from, how it is grown. You can have the nutrition varying so big. So the problem here I'm saying is that we have to have a clear cut benefits that we send out there. That is a uniform benefit. When you're looking at the economic side, when you're looking at the nutritional side, when you're looking at the culinary side, there must be a unified benefit that is spelled out for this plan. Because without that, there is a bit of uncertainty, and people are not very sure if indeed it's what we say it is. You understand? So this is what we need to first have a clear cut. If we want to be able to go into the local market, especially in the developing countries, we have to make it very clear. These are the benefits, these are the challenges, but these are also the benefits. It must be very clear, so that a diabetic patient is not wondering. Because I read an article somewhere says no, another article says yes. So who should we believe? So these are the points that I'm trying to make, that we have to have a clear cut, benefit definition for the products that we are talking about, especially moringa. So then the other part I want to mention is on the lack of regulation. The lack of regulation. Um, you can have proper market developed. You can overcome your competition. You can get all your customers educated. You can have all the measures taken in place, but without the proper legislation, we are in big trouble. So let this is one of the biggest things I think, that it's not just the hubs, the African Moringa Hub, or just the International Moringa Association have to put together. We need to come together, put up proper regulation, put up proper standards, put up policies that will govern the production, processing, and even sales of this product. Once there is a clear cut regulation, it makes it so much easier that anybody who wants to go into it can just follow these regulations and follow this. Right now, there's no clear cut. If you go to Zambia, it's completely different. If you go to Ghana, it's not even clear what it is. And then if you so it changes from place to place, and once there's no clear cut policy either locally or even internationally to govern this plant, we will continue to have these market challenges that we are currently having. All right. So hello to you guys. All of the comments are coming. I will not be able to read them now, but I will go to your questions later. But for now, let's look at the other challenges. That is the unsteady supply situation. Um, it is a kind of a chicken and egg situation where the consumers are willing to buy until are not willing to buy until they have been confident that this product is convincingly good enough for them. It has the value they need. And farmers are also not willing to farm because they think, well, consumers must be ready for this product. So in the end, you end up having this problem. But I think it is important that producers, we make up our mind that we are willing to produce high quality and educate our people on how to use it. Once we come to this point, we will be able to supply. Right now, that's the biggest problem that I have, is that a lot of investors will come and they say we need 10 tons, we need 20 tons, and Africa is not able to produce it. And it is very uncertain because you feel like, well, they say you have all these products here, but why is it that you can't supply? So the producer will not come back, the supplier or the buyer will not come back again because you can't meet the demand. And if you cannot meet the demand, it feels like, well, yeah, there's no business, basically. There's no business. So I will encourage that, especially for producers of Africa, from Africa, we need to scale up. We need to scale up because the market gap is there. Right now, China has a whole island for Moringa. Philippines is going crazy. India is the hub of Moringa, but somehow it's not seeming to do so well in terms of the global market. Of course, uh, they have their high side, but Africa seems to be the eye of Moringa, especially because we have a lot of virgin land. There's less use of chemicals. Uh, we have enough land space to be able to produce mass production. So commercialization is important in Africa for us to be able to meet the market demand that is needed. So yeah, the other part is, I think I talked about it a little bit already, is the lack of awareness and diversification. I think we when you come, I think it's Moringa tea, then there is Moringa oil, then there is Moringa powder, and that ends it. What we are not diversified. Not everybody likes the taste of Moringa. Honestly speaking, I have been an advocate for Moringa for a long time, and I still have challenges just with the taste. If we could create extracts, where we could have extracts from the Moringa leaves, um, with the same nutritional benefits, and it is easy to dissolve in water. These are ways to diversify it. The other part, of course, is cosmetics, and if we can be able to develop um, great awareness on the uses and the benefits of it, that's one. And the other part is focusing on diversification, so that it's not just only Moringa oil, Moringa powder that is in the market, but we have these lotions, we have these creams and things that are like in the body shops, the high ranking shops, so that we can be able to sell to our people. Yeah. So I think the other part I'll come also will be on the packaging. Africa needs to up on our packaging. People buy by sight a lot of the times, and it's important for us to be able to make sure that our product looks good. Our product looks good. Um, it's unfortunate that I have had people importing Moringa products from US, from India, from Philippines, from China into Africa to sell at very high and good prices, and yet the tree is just standing by the backyard, so to we want to buy a well produced product, and so we must up our game when it comes to the packaging especially, and then also processing and also value addition. I think this is one of the greatest ways we can be able to overcome the current challenges that we are facing in Africa. The other aspect I would like to talk about is also investment. Africa gets the least investment when it comes to superfood especially, and we are the hub. We are the hub of traditional and medicine, and the diversity of plants. But somehow we when you are searching about the benefits of moringa, um, you get only publications from Europe, US. Not that it's a bad thing, but Africa, we must tell our own story in a certain way, and we have to have our own research centers, production centers, value addition units, marketing centers, customer sales. We need investments in all this value chain. And once this there's investment, it will push people to go in more. And once people are there, then we are be able to overcome some of these challenges in our developing countries. So that is then we need more investments there, both individually in the corporate sense. We need investments, not just in the production, but also in the marketing, in the value addition. Right now, if you need to have a good package, you have to import it from China. Why does it have to be so? Come on. Africa can step up to, if we want to be able to overcome the problems in developing countries. We need to up our game in terms of all these things. The other aspect I would like to deal with is also on training and equipment. Um, it's unfortunate that right now Europe and US are setting the standards for us. Even if you look at it, it's very pathetic. I would say that um, our farmers need to be trained very well to be able to understand how to go about it and follow the right protocol in terms of production, processing, and also packaging. Our farmers need to be, we need to put emphasis on training smallholder farmers across the continents of Africa and other parts to be able to make sure that we rise up to the challenges of uh, this things, the moringa. We need to localize our training and bring in more informal support to help our corporate farmers, to help them to learn about how to extract oil, how to even dry it. Because right now, that is the major problem of our local people. They are not even able to simply dry moringa in kilos, in large quantities, unless you have a very sophisticated system. I think that we can overcome this. And I think for those who have been following our Green Gold social enterprise page, you might see we are already trying to develop some prototypes of dryers that can be used in the tropical region. We shouldn't have this problem, honestly, because we have enough sun to dry moringa. But I don't know why. But we need to equip our farmers on training, on equipment, and building this equipment as well, and create this entire value chain gap that we have. So I think there are many challenges, of course, and I cannot cover everything up, but I would like to come up with um, the lack of coordination and sharing of knowledge. This is the part that is, for me, it is killing the entire of the African market in terms of moringa. There's so many individuals just doing their own thing, and when they are asked to supply 10 tons, they are like, we cannot. But I know that if Zambia comes in, uh, Rwanda comes in, Ghana comes in, Nigeria comes in, we we collect them together, we can be able to supply. But in the case where we're just individuals and they are not willing to share their information, they are not willing to, make whatever experiences they have had possible, it becomes a big challenge for us to be able to grow. I mean, Africa is the hub of Moringa, you know, because we have all the resources to be able to grow it without using so much chemicals. But why are we still stuck at this point? Because so many people have the knowledge they don't want to share. We have no proper coordination. Besides now that the Africa Moringa Hub is doing a very good job of putting us together. Before now, there were just individual associations and they were all scattered. Even the leadership has always issues. Of course, in every situation there are challenges, but we need to learn to overcome them. And I think it is a growing market. Like I said, it was estimated by 2019. So we have gone past that where Moringa market value will go up to 9 billion. I mean, we all should have a share in this. And this is the way Africa can develop when we have something to offer to the rest of the world. So I will say that um, we need to make sure that we are ready to share. Let's team up, put the clubs and the hubs together, uh, put up our resources together. Let's close up the market gap. Let's close up the value chain so that if I need packaging materials, I don't have to go to China. I can go to someone in Zimbabwe. I can go to someone in South Africa. So that we can close up the value chain. Because right now, you cannot tell me that nobody in Africa can build a drying system. It's not possible. And there are people who have built drying systems or oil extracting systems, and they are hiding in their homes. Meanwhile, when I had to buy an extractor or a cold press machine, I had to go to Germany, and getting it into the country, the duties, then the oil becomes expensive. So once it is expensive, that is another challenge that our products will become expensive to our own people who are consuming it. So I think it is important that we understand that the value chain must be closed and must be linked together to enable us to be able to go into the market and be able to make sales. Because when you win, I win. It's not like um, there's one going to win and the other is going to lose. It's a win-win situation. When we grow together, we'll be able to make it. So for now, I will. I'm not saying it's going to be easy, but I think it is possible that we can come together, and this platform is one way to do that. And I'm sure there are many others that will come along that will put us together. Let's not feel in competition because the market is so big that we can all fit in and still be able to make progress and impact in our various communities. So for now, I would like to say that I will more or less wait for your questions, and of course I will make my presentations available for people to be able to download and see it for yourself. But like I said, yeah, there's a proverb that if you want to go fast, you have to go alone, but if you want to go far, you must go together. So I would suggest we go far because then we have a long-term winning. So this brings me to a bit of a conclusion of the challenges, but I'm much more optimistic about the possibilities. And so I would like to link up with you. Send me your comments, send me your ideas, send me your questions. And if you don't understand a thing, come on, just sit me up, and I'll be willing to explain as much as I can in my own experience. So yeah, thanks you everyone that is watching. It's beautiful to see everyone that is following. I'm so glad that you guys are helping. Mariana Prince, I salute you. Thank you so much for all the help and keeping me up to date. Um, yeah, and also Joshua, thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to share with you the rest of the world this moments of challenges. But I don't just think it's about challenges, it's also about the opportunities, because where there is a challenge there is an opportunity, and therefore it's good time we rise up to the challenge and then try to solve it. And I'm sure our pockets will not be too dry. Thank you so much. Looking forward to your questions, and yeah, I'm excited to. In the next few minutes, I will try to follow up some of the questions that have come up, and then I'll try to answer them as well. Thank you so much, and look forward to sharing with you more. Okay. So group production, yes, thank you. Thank you so much. Uh, Yes, so basically, I'm getting so much. There's so much messages. It keeps running. I'll share the presentation with you so that you can find some time and go through it by yourself. If indeed you have questions, I would love to answer them. Uh, that would be great. And like Mariana said, yes, it's important for us to develop our own manufacturing and processing equipment, because that is the way to go. Because right now, I spent more than what a 7,000 euro just to get a machine and from Germany, and that money could have been used to develop something back in Africa or even in Ghana, where I have so many hungry people around me who are waiting. So if this is even in Ghana, then the States, but unfortunately, it doesn't happen that way. The other part that I think I didn't push too much emphasis on is on certification. Right now, who certifies our Moringa product? So basically, you get like EcoCert and other companies that are certifying it. And EcoCert, unfortunately, is a European company. They help you to export to US and Europe. So the other part of it is that uh, back in Ghana, uh, you know, we had issues with Standard Board being the one to certify it. Then we have Food and Drugs Board, and there is no clear-cut protocol on how to even certify this product. I think that if we really want to take this forward, our countries must take this seriously, and it must start with our coordinated effort to come together. If the government know that there are 10,000 Moringa farmers, they will be expecting your votes as well. So they will not want to make sure that they create a policy that will stifle you. So it is important for us to put all the farmers together, create a hub, because in unity we can send a strong message. Right now, there is no strong message. Unfortunately, I would say that when you go, the African Moringa Hub is doing very well, but when you go back to Ghana, the local hubs are not. Some of them are not doing very well. If you go to the different parts of Africa, I think Zimbabwe it seems to be doing very well when it comes. I see their name popping up quite a lot. So yeah, we need to set up certifications for the African product by an African institution, and not stifle ourselves to death with all these international regulations. I remember that some years back, I think way back in 2012, there was an export ban on vegetables, and it did, it didn't affect one person; it affected the entire of Africa. Why will Europe access not to export to them? Why would USA let's not export to them. But we are willing to feed our own people with the same product. Come on, we can do better. So I think it is important for us to simply understand that we are not going to feed junk. When we imported these glyphosates and chemicals and things from Europe and US in the first place. And now they don't want us to bring our products there because it contains the same product. So we have to think about organic production, but in an African context where our cow dung was good enough, where we can integrate the same system, we can look at changing our farming practices, for instance, into restorative agriculture methods. Um, there are possibilities. Africa used to do it before and can still do it. But the main problem is also that the mindset, which is another challenge that I don't want to actually want to delve too much into, because Africans still that Moringa coming from Africa is inferior. Yet the same product, similar to cocoa, is what we export to Europe and US. They reprocess it, repackage it, send it back to us. We go to the shops and buy it at a very crazy prices. It is a mindset that we need to change and start thinking from the everything that is a challenge must be avoided, and start to see that every challenge is a solution, has a solution, and we can be the solution. So yeah, as time is going, I think I've already spent around 31 minutes into the presentation. I'm looking through your comments and see where I can contribute. Yes, so like I said, in Green Gold, we have adapted our farming practices a lot, because initially I was into this monoculture, but I realized Moringa, one, doesn't do very well in a monoculture system. So you cannot just set up a plantation of Moringa. You will suffer a lot because Moringa doesn't do very well in that. And the places that you get them doing very well, you are also a little bit limited in terms of how much supply, what you can produce. Because one, you can eat Moringa. There's a peak period with Moringa. There are times that the market is very good. There are times it stifles. Unfortunately, in the rainy season, it's not the peak period. The dry season is the peak period. But unfortunately, with the dry season, the production also sometimes goes down. So we must have to change the way we farm moringa. And I recommend looking into regenerative farming or syntropic agriculture, which my company has adopted. And in the 6 months time, we had turned our depreciated land to a very beautiful place where it's not just moringa we are growing, but we are growing also but plantain, bananas, other things that we can also harvest alongside with the moringa, and it makes it a very holistic system. Because like I said, you can continue to encourage local farmers to eat moringa all the time, but once there's no diversification, they will not see reason to continue to produce it, and that is one of our biggest problems. So we must change our farming methods if we want to produce moringa. This monocropping, it's not gonna work. It's not gonna work. And over time, you realize that we always hype it. Moringa will replace the nutrition in the soil. Look, every plant that is stifled in some way doesn't do well. It's like putting yourself in a bunch of your colleagues. People who behave similarly like you. In the end, when one misbehaves, the effect goes down to everybody. So when you put moringa in a place where the one is affected, sometimes the trend goes through the entire system. But when you put it in a diversity of plants, then you realize that they do very well. This is not scientific, but this is my personal experience, and it has worked very well. I have done 28 acres, I've done 30 acres, I've done 50 acres of moringa, and um, I've concluded that doing this restorative system and permaculture system has always been the solution. So don't focus on only moringa, uh, but focus on different plants. And once you have the diversity, it will give you, the farmer, also purpose to continue to produce. Because then some moments you can harvest some bananas, you can harvest some cocoyams, you can harvest some ginger, you can harvest some other products that you, and even if you want to make value addition, it will be a nice thing to do these combinations. Right now we are doing the energy drink, which is a combination of moringa, lemongrass, ginger. We are doing boost, which is moringa powder, which we can spice up. We're doing different things, and it's because we have this diversity in our farm. But for that, we'll be stuck to moringa only, and that is not a good way of agriculture in the first place. Because one, you are stifling biodiversity. Two, you, the farmer, will not see the entire benefits, and especially when there are, um, you know, quiet seasons, lean seasons where there's nothing happening, you'll be stuck a lot. So it's important for you to think outside the box, create diversity in your farm. Don't just go moringa only. You will stand there and you see, ooh, only moringa farm. No, I will suggest you diversify it. And the thing about having a moringa plantation that I've experienced is that once once you put it in a plantation form, it starts to look like you're doing nothing, especially in the dry season when there's not enough water for them to survive. They just drop all their leaves, and then your farm looks like it's ready for fire. So I would recommend diversity. Add more plants, spacing it, add diversity. And the other part is mulching. Please, if anyone tells you Moringa doesn't need attention, I tell you it's not true. Moringa needs so much more attention, like a baby. So I would recommend, make sure you have enough cover crops under your Moringa plants, have enough mulch, make sure that you know you have diversity in your farm. This monoculture, if you're thinking of going into moringa production and monoculture is the first thing that comes to your mind, change it now. Because from my experience, it haven't worked, and you will start in a few years, 2 years, 3 years, it looks okay, and then subsequent years you will have issues. Of course, moringa has the potential to go up to 25 years if you give it the right environment, but that can happen in a diversity. Have you ever wondered that you see moringa in somebody's backyard and it's doing so well, and then you put it in the plantation and they look like sticks like that? So I would advise for diversity. So somebody was asking about intercropping moringa. One of the plants that I have noticed doesn't do well with intercropping is maize. So I would say put trees, other trees, but with high amount of pruning. Um, but maize doesn't do well, especially the cereals don't do very well with moringa integration. But the more you have diversity, then they will, and then spacing, they will do fine. But my experience is moringa, corn, they compete a lot. So most cereals compete with moringa. So don't over blend them. Yeah, someone is asking about the challenges to export in Europe. I think I've already mentioned most of the challenges applying to Africa also apply to exporting to Europe and US. The main, the two main ones is certification, that our products are not meeting the standards and the protocols. The second one is production. We are not able to meet the production request of Europe and US. So these are the two main things. If we can tackle these two things, if we can set up our own standards or at least train farmers to meet up to the standard, and then we can also coordinate these farmers in a way that we can put moringa together and have in huge quantities to be able to supply to buyers, then we should be able to easily overcome this problem. There are Moringa Connect, Kuli Kuli. There are some other people, but if you look carefully, you realize that these are US based, or they are owners, or they are the people behind them mostly are in Europe. So they pick the standards of Europe and they implement it in Africa to be able to get the requirement they need. And so um, this is the trick now, that if you want to be able to penetrate the US and the European market, you have to be here and work from here down to Africa, and then you already have a trust base. When somebody is shipping to Europe and you are not in Europe, the first question is, I hope this is not a scam. You know, I hope you're not going to add some extra weed. But you know, there are question marks. But from Europe, if you are the success of the companies who are having founders or investors from Europe is that it's being pushed from Europe. So there's a bit of a trust tag to it. And so that is it. Yeah. The question of why can't we focus on the local market and we are always looking at the international market? Yeah, I have also come to a point to realize that focusing on the local market is the way to go. Actually, this is the way to go. The reason why a lot of people are focusing on the in the international market is that's where the cash comes in. You know, that's where the money is big there. So a lot of people are focusing there because I mean, if you buy a kilo of moringa in Rotterdam, you're between 60 no, around 60 euros or something like this. If you do convert 60 euros in Ghana, yeah, it's weighty. So I think a lot of people want to focus on the European market mainly because it is lucrative, the purchase power is stronger, and there's a little bit of insurance. You know, it's a bit of insurance there. But I think that if we focus on the local market, I have done it already. I've done some value addition. I've focused on the local market, and it's picking up. You know, you don't get it overnight, but it will pick up. And I think that is the most important, is to look into the local market. Yeah, thank you so much, everyone who is watching. Jeanette, thank you so much. uh, yeah, you talk about all the big shops, Walmart and all that. You know what you have to understand is the shops that are in Europe, they also put a lot of money into certification and approval. And unfortunately, when you come back to Africa, the certification is not there. There are instances where I've exported my product, I've tested it in Ghana, I sent it out to Europe, it tested and it failed. But the test in Ghana was excellent. Because some of the machines don't just test well, so you have to now begin to research and find out where is the best testing systems center and all that. And so yeah, there are some challenges. Like I said, we need to set the standards. If we don't set the standards, these challenges will keep happening, and then we need to come, close up this value chain. Some people have to, as a farmer for almost 15 years in Moringa, I am doing the soil research. I am doing the farming itself, the planting, and I am doing the harvesting. I am the same person doing the packaging. I'm the same person handling the accounts, handling the marketing. When a company is one company has to do all these things, sometimes you lose focus. So we need all accountants, we need marketers, we need sales personnel, we need developers. And kudos to those who developed the Africa Moringa Hub, the Moringa City website. I love it. When I look, the security is amazing. So you can log on to moringacity.com, and I think you will love what you see. Um, but like I said, we need to put in the right standards for ourselves, and I think that is the way to go. Um, Oh yeah, somebody's asking how long have I been selling in Netherlands? I wouldn't say I have been selling in Netherlands because it's not official. Sometimes I just bring it in my bags, and then friends will come to buy it. Mainly because cost of exporting it and going through all these procedures and getting the site to certificates and all that is so expensive. It takes so much time. The hassle. I think Africa stifles its own people from sending things out to the rest of the world. And then when you get to Europe too, they also have their standards that you have to overcome. So in the end, I wouldn't say I'm really selling. Of course, I have some B2B clients, but I wouldn't say I'm really selling because officially it's just packages that are personally delivered. And so, yeah. Um, like I said, I think the local markets will do you a lot of good if you can expand into the rest of Africa. And let's look at Africa as a whole and not just Ghana, not Zimbabwe or Botswana or South Africa. Or we should look at it as holistically, and that is the way to go. How do we get government attention? Mr. Haruna Joshua mentioned. Oh, I think, like I said before, government is about numbers. So once we put ourselves together and there's a bigger number, they have no choice but to come to get attention from us. Because if we have 100 Moringa farmers coming together and saying, government, if you do not create policies that will support us, if you have 1,000, even 1 million Moringa farmers coming to our government officials and saying, look, if you do not set policies that will help us to make our product easier, you're not going to get our votes. It's a catchy point, isn't it? So we need to put ourselves together. We need to form stronger corporations and stronger associations that will, lead the process. So it's important for us to connect the dots and link the associations together. This individuality has not helped us, and it will never help us. So it's important for us to team up and work together. Moringa City, yes, check them out. You'll see some of our products will be displayed there. Other people also put their products there. So go there, check it out. If you are looking for my company is Green Gold Ghana, greengoldghana.com. You can check it out. And if you have questions, recommendations, if you have things that you want me to clear out, I want to start a new generation of producers and Moringa people who are willing to share their ideas, share your dreams. You come to my center, I show you how the machine works. I'm not hiding anything. I show you my soap ingredients. Some people might say that it is disclosing your secrets. No, right now Google and uh, social media and all that stuff is exposing more information to people. So if you keep these informations to yourself, you realize in a few years they are cake and cannot be used in any development again, and that by then you would have done more harm to us than good. So yeah, thank you very much. I think we do not have much time left. The idea is to keep it in under 1 hour. If if there are no questions, like I said, the question of packaging and labeling is one big problem, and I think most of you who are into packaging, you will know that that is an issue in Africa. Thankfully, these days there are companies coming up that are trying to cover up and make up for the gaps. If you have companies that are doing your labeling and your printing, please send the comments below. Let other people see them. Let's connect to each other. If I am in Ghana and then I think I have a better printing press, I can easily connect to my brother in Zimbabwe or my sister in Rwanda. and say, come on, I will, send me your product. I'll have it printed. I'll ship it to you at less cost, and then you have your product. We don't have to, be disintegrated and disconnected, as we are currently doing. It's not helping. Brother Joshua, you're talking about animal feed. So basically, my center is called Dream Village, and it's a hub for entrepreneurship training, agriculture research, and so that is besides my Green Gold company. Now, it's just a resource center where people come to experience more things. And one of the things we've been doing is using Moringa as part of our formulas for the chicken, the rabbits, and the goats and the cows. Now, um, you cannot use this as a sole source of nutrients, but it's a great way. Um, I noticed a lot that one of the reasons that actually pushed me to go into Moringa advocacy is that some years back I had gone to visit a village, and a lot of the children were malnourished. I was a bit concerned and I was looking at how to help. And then I went to the backyard and there was a Moringa tree, and the goats and the pigs were eating it and growing fat, and the human beings were growing slim, mainly because of ignorance. So I thought, no, it's important for us to advocate. So moringa is very good for animals. I cannot share every details now about the mixture, the formula, and all that, but I think it's something that normally we will share on our website. And if you will just add, powders of moringa oil to any of your feed, or just let the animal feed on it. A lot of people, when you are stripping the moringa, the leaves, the branches, you put it out, the animals will eat it. And some part of the year, when it is really dry and difficult, when you dry this product, this moringa, none of it is wasted. That's a good thing about the moringa plant, is no part is wasted. You can crush it, you can break them into pieces, dry them, and then animals will enjoy it later in the dry season. So some people are asking about my rabbits and animals. So I have a poultry production, but local poultry production. Around right now we are around 200 birds. We let them lay their eggs in the local environment. We pick them up. We have made this nice, laying points locally. They go to lay. We go. We pick up the eggs and then we put in the incubator. So with the capacity to hatch 1,500 eggs every 21 days. So it means that we have a lot of chicken. We also have goats and rabbits, which we feed them. We just pluck their leaves and just give it out. And when we have a supply, there is always a leftover, and then we give it out. So nothing is wasted. Nothing is wasted. Like I said, my farms are more of a research center, like than it is a simple single business. So we have like antelopes and donkeys and stuff. But yeah, it's a crazy things like this there. But the idea is to create a universal system where there's a cycle where everything feeds on something, then we change it around, and so nothing is wasted. Yeah. So some people are talking about the moringa capsules and the moringa tea. These are places I would say, if you're not very experienced, don't go into. The tea is okay, but the capsules is a little bit tricky because there are different sizes in capsule, there are different sizes in dosage, and we must be very careful. I would say don't sell moringa as the ultimate medicine. It's a nutritional supplement. It's if you see it in that point of view, a lot of people wants to take moringa and see magic happen. Yes, you can have that feeling, but it is not the core purpose of moringa. It takes time before you start seeing the maximum effects of it. So I will recommend that this is should be part of our education and our awareness that once people are taking it, we shouldn't sell it as medicine to them, because this they will expect so much more in a short period. So we should always remember to see it as a nutritional supplement and help them to adjust to it, and then they will not expect too much from it at all at once. So yeah, 5 minutes into the presentation, and um, I cannot say I've not enjoyed it. It's unfortunate. It's a one-sided conversation. It's a one-sided conversation. I would love to have your comments and feedback, where you need me to adjust the presentation. Okay, maybe next time when there's a chance, I can make it available. If you have your questions, this presentation will be over, but my links are available. You can always send me a hi, send me a contact, and I'll be very much happy to assist. One thing I want to, the last thing I want to share before I go is that possibilities. Um, I have seen so much wonderful things happen in Moringa. I have seen 416 children being put on a Moringa diet and then move them from extremely malnourished to doing very well, which is a project we ran before under my company, Drive It, but now it's Green Gold. Ghana, and be watching these malnourished children transcend from highly deprived nutrition to plumpy children was a beautiful thing. And for me, this is why I keep doing what I'm doing. So even without the profit pouring in, without all the money coming in, but I still see potential. So let's not just look at the monetary side of it. Let's not just look at the financial side of it, but let's look at also the impact. And I think this is where investors also have to think that when you are investing in Moringa, you're not just investing in a plant. You're just investing in in a financial gain, but you're investing in an impact, because we are able to lift so many women farmer groups out of poverty. We're able to help so many children, that is important for us to to understand that it's not just about the money. So yeah, our time. Thank you so much, Mariana and Joshua and everyone. Ram, Siram, you thank you for joining us and sending your comments. Um, yeah, everyone that did join me, thank you. Ackermans, oh yeah, Yannick, thank you so much. Thank you so everyone. Yeah, I appreciate your time and getting to know you. I am available. Yeah, yeah, the names are quite a bit, so I will just thank you so much. I appreciate you for making time. Let's think about the possibilities. Oh, Joshua, yeah, only asking this question now. So I had a 75,000 grants award that was supposed to be the TMT. So it's basically to bring trainers to train us on changing our monoculture moringa production into a syntropic or restorative agriculture farm. So the money didn't really come to us, but it came in terms of knowledge and in terms of training, that now we are able to transcend our monoculture system into a restorative agriculture system. So there you go. So yeah, yeah. So that is it. Thank you so much for making time. I appreciate you all for spending the time with us. I think this the champion here needs attention. So I would like to thank you. Lots of love. Take care of yourself. I know these are difficult times for everyone, but I also know that we can make it through. So thank you, and have a blessed, blessed day or evening if that is what it is to you. Bye.